how do you put a dollar figure on something as foundational, yet, well, often invisible, as information technology? Can you really measure the strategic value IT brings to a company beyond just its cost? Today, we're taking a deep dive into exactly that question. Our mission is to unpack key insights from Chapter 5, The Value of IT, from the adventures of an IT leader. We'll be filtering these insights through crucial lenses: organizational management and IT issues, all vital for strategic roles in information systems. As we go through this, think about how these points might apply in your own world. If you find value here, please consider sharing it or following us for more strategic insights into IT leadership.
It's a huge challenge, isn't it? It really defines modern IT leadership. Most often IT is seen primarily as a cost center, and shifting that narrative, that perception, to one of strategic value is just fundamental. We'll see how Jim Barton, the new CIO of IBK, really grapples with this.
That's a crucial point. So let's start with Jim Barton. He's the new CIO at IBK Corporation. He finally knows how much the company spends on IT, which, okay, that's a start. But the real headache, the giant question mark, is articulating the value IBK actually gets from all that spending. He'd just come out of an executive meeting where, well, every business unit head had to justify their existence with growth or profit figures.
Right. Standard procedure for them.
But IT isn't a profit center. It doesn't directly generate revenue. This highlights a classic management issue. How do you, as CIO, explain how IT creates value for these internal customers, the business units?
It immediately brings up that core dilemma of IT. We often say IT is an enabler. It supports, it streamlines, it provides the essential infrastructure for other departments to either make money or save money. The inherent difficulty is measuring that indirect value, especially when the benefits are kind of spread across the whole organization.
Yeah, it's diffuse.
It's not just an accounting challenge, it's really a strategic communication battle. Every IT leader faces this.
And it gets even messier when you look at the organizational issue around project proposals. Barton quickly realized there was a bit of a game being played. Whenever a business unit wanted an IT project, they'd promise some, grand dollar benefit cost savings, higher sales, faster processes. To justify it, sounds perfectly reasonable, right?
In theory, yes, absolutely. But the reality, as Barton found out, was that those projected benefits were often, educated guesses at best. And critically, no one ever went back to check if they actually happened.
Nobody checked. That's the key.
It creates this really challenging dynamic where the perceived value of IT projects might be way off from their actual impact. Phantom benefits, almost.
And it was politically tricky, too. If IT tried to take full credit for these improvements, it felt like double counting. If a new system helped a department save $1 million, who gets the credit? IT, or the department that used the system.
Tricky territory.
Barton knew the value was shared. IT wouldn't make friends by grabbing the spotlight, yet he also knew, without IT, many of those gains would have been impossible. It's a real catch-22.
It truly is. And this points to a deeper organizational challenge, maybe a lack of shared accountability for these big enterprise-wide outcomes. For strategic IT leaders, it means you've got to move beyond just delivering the tech. It's about becoming really skilled at facilitating and documenting how that technology genuinely helps the business meet its strategic goals, even when the credit is spread thin.
That takes influence.
A lot of influence and a lot of trust building across the company.
So, feeling the weight of all this and, knowing his predecessor, Bill Davies, had left, suddenly Barton knew he needed an outside view. He called his old friend and former consultant, Maggie. And Maggie, sharp as ever, immediately gave him this powerful example of IT's potential for, outsized value.
Yeah, this leads us straight into a crucial IT issue and a really powerful strategic management lesson. Maggie pointed to Zara, the Spanish clothing retailer. What's fascinating about Zara is their IT spend seems, on the surface, pretty modest, only about 0.5% of revenue on IT, with a tiny fraction of staff in IT.
Peanuts, relatively speaking.
Exactly. Yet, they leverage technology in this incredibly clever way to gain a competitive edge.
It's quite brilliant how they do it. Their systems track real-time sales trends in every single store, and they instantly signal the factory to make more of whatever's selling hot. So in less than 3 weeks, new stock can land in stores to meet that demand.
Think about the impact.
Huge. Fewer markdowns on stuff nobody wants and more sales of what customers are actually buying right when they want it. So this, modest IT investment gives Zara a capability competitors can't match, directly boosting their bottom line.
That example just perfectly illustrates that IT isn't just about how much you spend. It's how you spend it and, maybe even more importantly, how you integrate it into your core business processes. It's not just the tech itself, it's the innovative application of that tech that creates the strategic difference. And this directly tackles that famous, or infamous, depending on how you see it, IT doesn't matter thesis by Nicholas Carr.
Ah, yes, Carr's argument. That IT is becoming a commodity, like electricity. Broadly available, easily copied, so no longer a source of competitive advantage. You might think, doesn't Zara completely blow that theory out of the water?
And that's exactly where the nuance comes in. Sure, foundational IT capabilities can become commoditized over time, but Maggie's counterargument is spot on. Competitive advantage really comes not just from having the tech, but from the unique ways a company deploys it, manages it, and builds its culture around it.
Right, the implementation.
Precisely. She used another great analogy. Walmart gets a lot more value from IT than Kmart, even though both have access to the same technologies. This highlights a critical IT issue and organizational issue. The value lies in innovative processes, cultural adoption, and constant improvement. These are areas where leadership and imagination matter. Strategic IT leaders get this. Their role is less about just managing machines and more about orchestrating people, process, and tech for unique business outcomes.
That totally reframes the discussion, doesn't it? So after that call, Barton felt, well, more enlightened, but still struggled with how to apply these big ideas, specifically at IVK. He decided he needed an internal perspective, someone on the ground. So he turned to Bernie Rubin, his seasoned director of IT technical services. Bernie, a direct report, was known for being pretty candid.
Even challenged Barton before, right?
Yeah, in a tense meeting earlier. If anyone could bridge that gap between the tech details and business value within IVK, it was Bernie.
And Bernie's contribution is this powerful yet simple framework. It speaks directly to IT strategy and how you allocate resources.
He offered this great analogy. Think of running a race. Some investments in IT just get you to the starting line, and others might help you win. This led to his distinction between qualifiers and competes. Qualifiers are those IT investments needed just to stay in business. The baseline systems and capabilities every firm in the industry needs. They buy you a place at the starting line, but don't give you an edge.
Table stakes.
Exactly. In contrast, competes are investments that can give you a potential edge over competitors and help you win the race. This is a core IT issue for strategic management.
This framework is just invaluable for any organization looking hard at its IT budget. It forces you to take a really clear-eyed look at where the IT spending is truly going. For many companies, the vast majority, honestly, is locked into qualifiers maintaining old systems, basic infrastructure, things that just keep the lights on.
And that's exactly what Barton and Bernie found at IVK, a clear management issue. They estimated that roughly 60% of IVK's IT spending went to maintaining infrastructure and existing systems. Classic qualifiers. Only about 40% went to new applications and projects, which were the potential competes. That's a huge chunk just to stay at the starting line.
It points to a really common challenge. IT leaders have to manage the cost and efficiency of these qualifier systems ruthlessly, cut the fat there, while simultaneously finding ways to invest in the compete initiatives that actually drive differentiation. It's a balancing act. And Bernie made another really sharp observation, a key strategic management and IT issue. Even investments that start out as compete won't stay that way forever.
Right, because competitors catch up.
Exactly, competitors copy. So today's advantages become tomorrow's necessities.
That's a sobering thought. It implies that the compete category naturally shrinks over time as innovations become standard, and the qualifier category just keeps growing. Unless
the company keeps innovating, keeps adding new compete initiatives faster than the old ones become commodities. IT can never just stand still.
constant motion.
Precisely. It really emphasizes the need for a dynamic IT strategy. An IT leader can't just fund a project, see it succeed, and then, relax. They had to constantly be scanning the horizon, anticipating the next differentiator, shifting resources, manage the commodity stuff efficiently, invest in the next big thing. This is where IT leadership truly shifts from just operations to being a strategic partner.
So Barton, now armed with these insights from Maggie and Bernie, decided to synthesize what he'd learned, pull it all together. He turned to his whiteboard, his favorite thinking canvas, he called it, to try and frame this unquantifiable value. He started with the upper limit. He figured, okay, IT's value can't possibly exceed the company's total market value. So he wrote down IVK's market value, $1.95 billion. And next to it, a big question mark. IT value was...
That's a moment of real strategic management clarity, isn't it? IT clearly contributes to future earnings, efficiency, innovation, risk management, customer satisfaction, all the things that build up that total market value. But Barton also thought about the flip side, which is equally critical for any strategic IT role and especially relevant to IT issue risk management. If well-managed IT could increase value, could poorly managed IT actually decrease it?
Absolutely. He remembered how IVK stock had tanked, dropped from $75 down to a market cap under $2 billion after some disappointing results. Now, obviously, many factors were involved, but he couldn't help wondering what role IT might have played in that loss. Maybe systems weren't agile enough, or tech issues frustrated customers. He realized IT wasn't just about the upside potential. It was also critical for avoiding disaster.
Preventing the downside.
Yeah. He thought of John Cho, IVK's security lead, who stood between the company and armies of hackers. I quote, preventing a catastrophic data breach or a major system outage that was an immense, even if uncelebrated, part of IT's value. Cybersecurity, data protection, just reliable operations. These are foundational IT services that kept IVK in business. It's tough to put a dollar figure on disasters that didn't happen, but that's definitely part of IT's value story.
That's such a critical insight, and it's often overlooked. The quiet heroics, you could say, of preventing IT disasters. They contribute enormously to business resilience, to maintaining that market value. Strategic IT leaders have to get good at communicating this preventative value effectively, turning it from just an unseen cost into a vital form of business protection. It's a core part of IT service management, making sure those foundational services are rock solid.
So, as his day was winding down, Barton found himself thinking about his predecessor, Bill Davies, and why he'd been fired. He had this personal project. Understand what got Davies fired. He managed to get his hands on a confidential consultant's report evaluating Davies' time as CIO. And it was pretty illuminating. The report described 3 levels of IT leadership maturity, which is a key management issue.
Yeah, this offers a really powerful roadmap for anyone thinking about IT leadership development. Type 1 leadership, as they described it, is focused on managing functional requirements in individual systems, really living in the technical trenches.
Down in the weeds.
Exactly. Type 2 is more elevated, managing a portfolio of projects and infrastructure, taking a seat at the senior management table, delegating operations, and actively shaping business strategy. And then there's Type 3, the most mature, a visionary CIO focused on strategy and enterprise resources, someone actively trying to transform the company.
And the critical finding for Davies. The consultants rated him a fledgling Type 1, struggling to even reach Type 2. He was technically competent, sure, but he hadn't made that crucial leap to being a true strategic partner. And the most damning finding, a huge organizational issue and management issue, was that Davies had a big problem interacting with his peers and those to whom he reported. He tended to retreat into the comfort of the IT world he knew whenever there was conflict with other departments.
Oof, that's tough.
It confirmed Barton's suspicions. Davies really struggled with communication and relationship management at the executive level. He couldn't bridge the gap.
This is maybe the most vital lesson here for aspiring IT leaders. Technical skill is the foundation, the ticket to entry, but it's just not enough for strategic leadership. The ability to communicate effectively, to build trust, manage relationships across the whole organization, speak the language of business, these skills are paramount. A CIO has to be a diplomat, a collaborator, an influencer. Davies' downfall really underscores that. You can have the smartest IT plan, but without buy-in and collaboration from your peers, it's probably not going anywhere. For those of you aiming for strategic roles, maybe in programs like BCIS 5381, this is a non-negotiable skill set.
So by the time he closed those folders, Barton's mind was buzzing. He had taken this vague, difficult question, what is the value of IT? And turned it into this multifaceted exploration. It wasn't a single number. It was a story. A story of operational excellence, strategic innovation, risk management, and, maybe most importantly, leadership alignment.
That synthesis is really a testament to his growth, even in a short time. He understood that IT's value shows up in all these different ways, and his job now was to articulate that whole picture, that holistic value.
And he quickly began to formulate a plan, showing his renewed purpose and his grasp of IT service management and management issues. He realized, okay, we can track projected project benefits after implementation. Seems obvious, but it wasn't being done consistently. He also planned to institute better IT governance. He noted how industry frameworks like ITIL, with its principle of focus on value, and COBIT, which emphasizes business alignment and communication between IT and business, actually reinforced the strategy he was developing.
Using the established best practices.
Right. He even considered agile practices. Why? To deliver visible value in quick increments and build credibility through these short, frequent sprints, show progress quickly.
This is where it all comes together, really. Barton's journey shows that strategic IT leadership means evolving, moving beyond being just a caretaker of machines to becoming a true strategic partner to the business. It's about ensuring every IT investment, every action, contributes to the overall business objectives. Leveraging frameworks like ATOL and COBIT, adopting methods like Agile Arrow, it's all about demonstrating tangible, continuous value. This aligns perfectly with the goals of preparing graduate students for those strategic roles in IT service management, digital transformation. It's about leading change, building credibility, and ensuring technology consistently drives business success.
What a journey for Jim Barton in just one chapter. It's so clear that understanding and articulating the value of IT isn't some simple accounting exercise. It's a really deep dive into organizational dynamics, management challenges, and how you strategically deploy IT.
Indeed. It requires that holistic perspective, that ability to connect the tech capabilities directly to business outcomes, even the ones you can't easily put a number on.
And that brings us to the end of this deep dive. Thank you so much for joining us on this exploration of IT's elusive value. We hope this discussion has given you some valuable insights to reflect on. If you found it helpful, please do share it with others who might benefit, and consider connecting with us for more strategic insights into IT leadership. And to leave you with a final thought to chew on. In your own organization, or maybe the one you aspire to lead someday, how would you define the qualifiers versus the competes in IT spending? And what strategic leadership shifts might be necessary to ensure IT is consistently seen as a driver of competitive advantage, not just, a necessary cost?